up? What's up? It's your boy Big Chase, man. Brooklyn in the house. You already know what it is. Man K 101 podcast. As you can see, I'm completely dolo tonight. It seems that a couple of my cohorts was playing Hogwarts and they're completely burnt out. So I'm here alone. My man Leo, the K-Lo K, the Mama Wanna God is out cooking up a fresh batch of that Mama Wanna and whatnot. But we cooking up something special. Another episode of our Artist Spotlight series where we talk to the hottest creators on the planet, find out what they're going on and how you can get your hands on it. Also, don't forget to check us out for the live podcast every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. You can also catch us on Instagram. You can catch us on Twitch, on Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any place else you can manage to tap in. So, without further ado, man, I'm going to bring out my guest, my man Will from Inkosi Comics. Will, what's up, man? Hey, listen, man. We appreciate you coming through, talking to us, man. Listen, let's start with the beginning. Inkosi Comics, man. Okay, first of all, let's back it up. Let's back it up. How did you get started in this industry?
All right, so first of all, man, I gotta show you love because the moment you saw me, you picked up my books, you supported me. I appreciated that. And it really motivated me to be able to be here today and continue to do something that I love, which is tell stories. So, you know, I think from my earliest memories, I've always wrote stories. I could think I was like in 7th grade. And, you know, I'd be bored in class and I would just sit there and, you know, the time Super Friends was on. So I would draw Super Friends cartoons. And one of my partners saw me and was like, yo, I'll give you $0.25 for that. So I was like, word? All right, you know, take that quarter, go to the store, get some Nalators, get some bazooka gums. I was good, right? But it was at that time that I realized people will buy your stories, right? It was like that early on in my life that I made that connection. Although I didn't pursue art as a career, I always wrote, right? Any idea I had, I wrote it down. I'm a big comic book guy, got thousands of comics. I think what motivated me to do what I'm doing now, which is Inkosi Comics, you know, it goes back to something Toni Morrison said, right? I saw a quote. It was on like this mural, and it said, if there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, you must be the person to write it. So, you know, thinking about all these years, 40 plus years of reading comic books and only seeing, you know, people of the Black and brown persuasion in these books, left me thinking, you know, when are we going to get that? When are we going to get that Black character? Right, that's like the Black Superman, the Black Batman, right, the Black Aquaman, right, Black Dr. Doom. Right. And at some point, I just said to myself, stop looking for something and create it yourself, right? And if nobody else likes it but you, so be it. You know, it makes you happy. Right. So it's in that vein that Inkosi Comics came about. And, you know, to answer your question, you know, Inkosi in Zulu stands for king. So I was thinking, you know, King Comics, but I wasn't going to call it King Comics. I wanted to throw a little African vibe to it. So I said Inkosi Comics, right? Okay. So, you know, we want to be like the premier publisher of comics, graphic novels that have a that cater to Black and brown people, right? Not to say that I want to replace or get rid of what's already out there, but just kind of add to it, right? Just add some more color to what's already exists. Give people some more variety. Attract some more readers who might not read comics because they don't see themselves in comics, right? Because images are very important, and they can build self-esteem, they can break down self-esteem, right? So I think I had always had the idea to do my own comic, but it wasn't until the pandemic that it became like real for me because, you know, a lot of people I know died. I'm sure you know people that died, and they didn't expect to die. But, you know, there were a lot of things they wanted to accomplish that the pandemic, unfortunately, stopped them from doing. So
Right.
said, you know what? I can't take anything for granted anymore. If I'm gonna do this comic book thing, I gotta make it real.
Yeah.
So here we are today talking about it, man.
Yo, listen, it's the truth, man. And I tell people all the time when they come on, like, I remember when, like you say, you be in class and get a little bored, you start doodling or
Yep.
whatever. And
Yep.
I remember at a time where, creating your own comic book was so far away from what you could do. And now the technology is finally caught up where,
Yes.
anybody that has a dream and a story can just put something together. You can go find all the resources, the artists and the printers and all of this. There's like all of these different things. Even the way to fund your project is now
Yep.
available. So now's the time to really take hold of it. And as we were talking about backstage earlier, I got my own idea for a couple of things too. So
Yeah.
uh, it's great to see other people in the market. You know what I mean? It's great to see them across the spectrum because it's been missing for so long and
Yeah.
whatnot. And we have our own great stories to tell.
We
And
do. We definitely do. I think the movie Black Panther inspired a lot of black creators to take the initiative, right? Because we had waited so long for that Black Panther movie to come out, right? We heard about Wesley Snipes having ownership of the rights, but then it never really came into fruition, right? I don't even know if that was really true.
yeah,
But to actually see the Black Panther movie come out, it definitely inspired me, right, to get my creative juices flowing
right,
and put something and bring something into reality.
right, right.
So I
Yeah,
think that we have a lot of stories to tell, like you just said, and for me, this is only the beginning.
right, right. Yeah, no. So as you said, I think Black Panther just made it real. Sometimes you need to see it so that you know that it's real,
Mm-hmm.
especially for our youth because they need to see that this thing is possible.
Yes.
As I said, when we were kids, it was so far away from us to be able to do that. Like we didn't even know what the first step was about creating. We
Right.
just drew something on a piece of paper, and now these steps, are out there. You can go on YouTube. There's so many resources. But let's get into your title, man. Coastal
Yeah,
Comics,
man.
man. So tell me about what titles you got.
So
Characters.
so right now, the first title we have is The Mighty Mkali, Amazing Aoko, and it is the story of two women warriors of African descent who are on a mission to capture a horde of monsters of African mythology that have escaped, and how they escaped, and how they escaped, and how they actually get captured is part of a developing story. Mkali doesn't start off as a warrior, although she definitely is portrayed as such. She's just a normal high school student who makes a bad decision to go to a cup party with a cute boy. She brings along her partner, and things go left. Aoko, on the other hand, is a warrior. She is the member of a group called the Walenzi, and they protect the 7 provinces of a realm called the Black Iroko, right? So the Black Iroko is like almost like a home and a prison. It's a home to the inhabitants of the Black Iroko, but it's also a prison to the monsters that have been captured, right? And like I said before, as the story develops, you'll learn how the monsters actually became imprisoned and how they were released.
Right.
The founder, well, actually, I'll say the ruling family of the Black Iroko is the family Nzuri, and the family Nzuri is part of a higher tier group of superior beings that were created by this ominous. I don't want to call it like a god, but it's sort of like a god called Olorame. So part of the idea of this whole book came from an African story, African fable, in which Anansi, the spider, which I'm sure everybody's heard of, Anansi the spider, he releases these monsters into the world. So I was inspired by that story and started to think about these monsters just wreaking havoc all over the world, and then this being decides to create these angel-like creatures who capture them and place them someplace, right? So that's the gist of the story. And so in Mighty Mkali Amazing Ayoko issues 1 and 2, you're introduced to the ads, which are the first of a group of these monsters. And so the ads are these African vampires who appear in like lightning bugs to lure their prey towards them. But once they get close enough, the ads transform into these baboon-like creatures with sharp teeth, sharp talons, and they if they don't eat you, then they possess you. Right? Normally, doing my research, the ads normally like to eat little children. With adults, they tend to either kill them or possess them. So, so this first chapter of Mighty Mkali Amazing Ayoko is these two women fighting against and hopefully defeating the ads before the ads carry out even more sinister plot on Earth.
Wow. Listen, man, and this is what I'm saying, man. That there's you guys have great stories out there for us to tell and whatnot. And this sounds like good, man. This might turn into a movie, man. I might
listen, man. A movie, a video game.
Yes,
I'm down for everything, right?
Yeah,
I'm down for everything.
And I'll tell you something else that is amazing to me. How many creators are using women in their stories? That to see black women and black female characters coming forth, and not just as an add-on, like they're leading the way in these stories. It's just so dope. Because it's long overdue. One of my favorite characters is Storm from the X-Men.
Yes,
Always has been so. So it's just great to see all of these female black characters starting to show up, and Latin characters, black and brown characters showing up, getting their just due and whatnot. So that's just absolutely dope and whatnot.
Right. So what I'll tell you is that I'm an educator by profession, and I think my inspiration for Mighty Mkali, the Amazing Ayoko, is that I know there's so many young ladies who like to read, but may not be into the comic books, right? So this is hopefully an attempt to draw them in, that they can see themselves in these heroic positions, right? They see Wonder Woman, but they may not be able to relate to Wonder Woman, but they might see Mighty Mkali, Amazing Ayoko, and they can relate to that, right? And they can read comics and really enjoy a genre that a lot of them are not into.
Agreed. I think that it's the bridge, man. When you can go pick up something and you see yourself in it, I think that just is important. You know what I mean? I tell you, what was the first comic book you ever read?
Oh man, the first comic I think I read, well, it was definitely, and I'm mad about this because my next door neighbor, he had a lot of comic books. So me and my brother would go to his house, and he would let us read some of his comics. He had all these old X-Men, right? When Wolverine, first came onto the scene, Cyclops.
Okay.
So that's my first memories is of the that giant size X-Men #1, which at that time, right, like it was just a comic to us, right? We would go to the corner store and they would sell comics, right? But and we didn't really think about it like it was of any value. We would just spend like 75 cents and buy a comic book. But now, I mean, like giant size X-Men, forget about it. You could probably buy a BMW with that.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
But that's my first memory of comics. And after that, I begged my mom, for money to go and buy my own. And then, as I got older, I was able to go to the real comic book stores where it was just straight up comics, nothing else. And I think my first comic book store was Mike's. It was on it was in Astoria.
Okay.
And I mean, when I went in there and I saw this huge room with all these comics, it was just like crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Right.
And it was from that day forward that I just fell in love with comics, man. And every time I got a quarter, I would save it up so I could buy some comics.
Dope. That's dope, man. I know for me, I think I was in junior high school at the time.
Okay.
And so I was in the band, and my bandmate, shout out my man Damien, whoever you are out there. Me and Damien, it was me, Damien, and a young Hispanic lady named Maria, and we were the only three that played the trombone. Everybody else had all the saxophones, but we liked the trombone, and we were in one of those sets where we were kind of resting, and Damien pulled out this Hulk, and so I saw the comic, but I wasn't really paying much attention to it, and he started showing me. He's like, "Oh, the Hulk did this," and I'm like, looking like, "Wait a minute, they doing what?" Like, and I'm like, so he let me read it, and then after that, I was just hooked. And then, like you said, there was a little corner store that used to sell comics.
Yeah.
So go in there. Sometimes, like, I'll find out when the comics came, and I would go in there and just like I wouldn't even eat lunch. Sometimes I just
you smarter than me, bro. You smarter than me. I just went in on a random like what's that?
I had to find out because I'm like I would read the story cover to cover, and I wait for the next one to come out to find out what happened. So I used to ask the guy like, when does it come out? He's like, oh, it comes out at the beginning of the month. I'm like, okay. And then, like I said, I wouldn't eat lunch. I just go in there and just like spend all my money buying comics, and I leap from Hulk to Spider-Man, to X-Men, and the Nova and Rom, and so many different other characters and whatnot. What's your favorite character? What's your favorite characters?
You know what? I don't know, man. For some reason, I always find myself picking up Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I guess I don't know. For some reason, I mean, I'm just intrigued with Peter Parker and how long they've been able to run on that character, man. I mean, he has such amazing powers, right? And he just continues to be able to beat everybody, right? Even though he's not necessarily as strong as everybody, but he's got the brain power, and he's got this leaping and this climbing ability that's just crazy.
Right.
And I just like how Marvel's always seem to be able to use that character to push their universe forward, right? And I just finished telling you, man, I just purchased, but not just purchased, but one of my favorite comics is the Secret Wars issue with the black suit. So I also like Miles Morales. I can't wait for the new movie to come out.
Yeah, that looked great.
The last movie was crazy.
Right.
It was just crazy.
Yeah.
My kids liked it. I think I must have watched it like 4 or 5 times. But I think Spider-Man would probably be mine, man. What about you?
Okay. I mean, listen. So if my brother Charles will speak on the comics, I turned him on the comics, and Spider-Man is his absolute favorite. So I find that great. For me, honestly, the Silver Surfer was always my guy. Silver Surfer and Galactus are my 2 favorites. I like cosmic characters, so that their powers and their abilities, how cool they look to me at that time. Like, this guy is completely silver, even though they painted him white. He's completely silver and whatnot. And I thought the surfboard was cool as hell. I'm like,
surfboard was like a ridiculous idea, right? Like Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, like to be able to take just a plain dude with underwear on and put him on a surfboard, but give him these crazy powerful powers and make you believe that he was this important herald of Galactus was crazy.
Yeah. And I think for me, he became my favorite when he cured the Hulk. Is when I think I like, because there's that episode where he cures the Hulk, and then the Hulk wakes up and sucker punches him, and he puts him back. It's like, you know what? You're gonna stay the Hulk.
You're gonna stay the Hulk.
You're gonna stay the Hulk. I was doing you a favor, but that's enough of that and whatnot. So tell me, what do you think about what's going on with Marvel and DC, with the MCU and DCU now? That have you seen the new Ant-Man yet?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. I saw it yesterday with my kids, man. My daughter she's still upset, right? I don't want to put no spoilers out there.
Spoilers.
I know, but she's upset with Ant-Man's daughter because she feels like she started this whole thing, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of blaming Grandma because Grandma kept a secret for a minute, right? But then, my boy, he pointed out to me that at the end of Ant-Man 2, they were exploring the quantum realm, and she never said anything about it. So I was kind of like, see, I don't know what happened, what didn't happen. Yeah. But I like the movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was I liked it a lot better than I like Doctor Strange. I'll say that. I thought at least with this movie, the focus was on Ant-Man. And as opposed to Doctor Strange, I felt like they were introducing this new character as opposed to just focusing on him.
Right.
Marvel has had a long run, right? And it's kind of unrealistic to think they can keep that going again. But I think they put out those shorts on Disney to build up to what was coming. Right. And now we're starting to see it come into fruition. I think Kang is a dope character. Oh. And Majors played a great Kang. I mean, Jonathan, he's a dope actor, man. He's just a dope actor. And I'm looking forward to seeing how again, I guess I'm throwing some spoilers out there. This Loki, I'm wondering what this Loki 2 is going to be like.
Oh man, we just talked about that.
I'm wondering what this Loki 2 is going to be like. But I'm also, looking forward to seeing what the big movie is around Kang. And I especially because Kang said, I killed some of you Avengers before. So I'm kind of like, that's and then he brought up Thor. He said, "You're not Thor, are you?" I was like,
"Oh, the hammer, are you?" I was like, which is so crazy because it's like you don't even know his name. He's just like, "I know you had a hammer, but I
was like, "This could be."
Jonathan Majors is absolutely the man right now. Leo collect is a big statue head. He collects all the prime statues and all of that. Okay. And but we all said if Sideshow makes this Kang in the chair where he's just sitting there thinking, if that's an instant sell, we're all getting it.
I think I might have to get that joint too.
That's just crazy.
I'm excited because for a moment I thought that it was gonna fall off, but I'm starting to have some more confidence. I mean, DC on the other hand, I've always tried to support both books. Some of the I was really into the last Batman run that they had. I thought it was pretty good. It's still going actually. I think that's like they're getting close to 150 with that run. So it's been pretty good. But they just never really been able to translate what they've done into these great movies, right? But now we may see a difference, right? And we may see some better movies like this Flash. Like I was watching you guys show about the Flash.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was you that said when you see a trailer that shows you too much, it's a sign that it's probably gonna be suspect. But I'm hoping it's not. Yeah, listen, that whole Flashpoint storyline is crazy.
It's crazy. Exactly. It's crazy. That's my golden rule because good movies will show you enough to get you in, but when they show you all the action scenes, it makes me cringe and whatnot. Man. And as much as we give DC a lot of shit, it's because we love it so much.
Of course.
We love the characters. We want to see them compete with Marvel because the fans only win when it's compete.
Right.
And the crazy thing for me is that their cartoons are absolutely the best. Like, listen, I watch all of their movies, like their live action. So I don't understand why they cannot translate this. So we're all hoping that James Gunn can make this new era. We some of us didn't agree, including me, about getting rid of Henry Cavill and the Black Adam thing or whatever have you. But I understood he had to start fresh. I'm actually looking forward to seeing The Authority. I'm looking forward to seeing what's the other one? Amanda Waller. I'm looking forward to.
You know what? I think you posted that. Yeah, I was like, wow. Yeah, I mean, look, if they have the right storyline, I mean, I'm sure all of these movies are gonna have special appearances that are gonna make it a dope movie, right? We'll see, man. I mean, I'm gonna support it because We need these movies, right? This is what we go. This is what we need.
I don't know. I got a couple of the guys that like, I don't care. I'm not going in there. Shout out Abel and Aaron. Like,
listen, I had to see Black Adam no matter what because I love The Rock. I think The Rock is just a phenomenal actor, and I mean, it's funny how so-called critics gave it a bad review, but the fans loved it, right? I think it's the same thing with Quantumania. A lot of the critics don't like it, but a lot of fans like it. So, I always try to give it a chance, see it for myself, because I love these kind of movies. I don't want them to stop making them.
They at the end of the day, like I said, I don't need anybody to tell me what I like. I like what I like. If it's dope,
that's it.
Dope. If it's corny, I'm gonna say it's corny.
Yep.
None of these things are gonna be perfect, but listen, man, I'm here for it, and I love great, great stories. I think I've learned a lot of lessons over the years from watching these stories because you learn about decision making if you really pay attention to them. It's just not about the superheroes, and when you get down to it as people and things that happen.
You made a good point because in Quantumania, the daughter's decision just totally makes everything go left. And the last Spider-Man movie, his decision not to listen, right? His decision not to listen made everything go left also. So like you said, it's all about decisions, and that's a story arc that Marvel has been using with great success. So there's always a lesson, man. It's just not, things blowing up and people beating each other up and killing each other.
Yeah, listen, man, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. So tell me, tell the people, man, where can they find you? Where you going to be at? Where can they cop some of this great artwork, great stories you got going on here?
So, again, man, I appreciate you for just allowing me to be on this platform with you. You can catch me on Instagram or Facebook at Inkosi Comics. Right now, I'm in the process of creating my website where you can go directly and purchase books. But for the moment, I'm selling my books through Comic Wellspring, right? Okay. So I guess I can share the link with you.
Right. Yeah. So don't worry about that because
But
the links.
You can go.
Folks, you'll be able to find all of the links in the description.
There's a link on my Instagram page where you can just click on it. It'll take you right to the store, and you can purchase the book, which I greatly would appreciate. Financial support is always appreciated. This has just been like an amazing couple of months for me because I've created something that I spent years and years and years pondering over and just wanting it to happen. So I'm having a lot of fun. The financial support is helpful, but I'm doing this for the love, man. Right. I'm trying to get better at it with each issue, right? We're working on issue number 3 right now. And then I'm also working on another book, which is totally different from this, which I don't want to talk about right now because I got to keep everything under wraps until it's ready. But trust and believe, I'm going to continue to put out quality content that connects with people, and I think that people will enjoy.
Okay. Hey, well, listen, man, like I said before, man, we thank you for coming on the platform, sharing what you do with us. As we tell everybody, listen, the door's always open here. Whatever you got going on, whatever product you want to promote, you want to talk to the people, this platform is available. You're welcome anytime. You don't need no invitation. Just holler at us and whatnot.
Thank you, man.
All right.
So and listen, I extend the same, I extend the same to you. If there's anything I can do to help you, my door is always open as well.
All right, listen, if you got the Mega Millions numbers, you can because we need that right now.
Listen, I got about 20. I'm in like 3 pools, like 20 different people in each of those pools. We buy those Mega Million tickets.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, listen,
we trying to get this man cave compound popping, so we need that.
You want to start a pool? We want to start Mega Millions pool? Let me know, man. Powerball pool. Let me know. I'll take my picture and text it to you, man.
I appreciate
spend my $10, $20, whatever it is.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, listen, man. It's my man Will. Hey, Inkosi Comics, man. Go out there and cop those books, man. The description will all the links will be in the description. Don't forget to check us out Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube, as well as all the other socials, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and the like and whatnot. It's your boy Big Chase, Man K 101 Podcast. I'm gonna see you soon, man. Hey, play my thing.